Hey friends, welcome back to Storytime. Today we are reading part 2 of Nate the Great and the Fishy Prize by Marjorie Weinman and Sharmat, illustrated by Marc Simont. If you have not listened or watched part 1, you're going to want to go do that now because we're in the middle of a mystery. Alright, here goes part 2 of Nate the Great and the Fishy Prize. Nate the Great was just inspecting the mouth of Anastasia the pig. He did not find any clues. I already know that the can disappeared during the animal stampede. I, Nate the Great, need a new clue, and I need it fast. Sludge and I left. I was sorry I had seen Anastasia. She made me feel very hungry. I wished I had time to go home and make pancakes with the things I had bought at the supermarket, but I hadn't even had time to unpack them, and I knew there was not enough time left to talk to everyone else who had been at Rosamond's room. Annie, Oliver, Pip, Finley, and Esmeralda were left. I decided to go to Esmeralda's house. I had 2 reasons. 1, Esmeralda is very smart. 2, Esmeralda does not have a pet. Perhaps she had a chance to see something when everyone was busy with their pets. Esmeralda was sitting quietly outside on her steps. She did not have anybody to wash or brush or feed or brag about. I said, I am looking for the tuna fish can that was on Rosamond's windowsill. Did you see it? Yes, Esmeralda said. I saw it before everything went wild. Fang was standing under it. Fang, I said. Tell me, which way was he facing? He was standing with his right side next to the windowsill, Esmeralda said. His fangs were showing and his tail was swooshing back and forth. I, Nate the Great, was thinking. This was a new clue, but did it mean anything? Suddenly I knew that it was important. Sludge and I rushed to Annie's house. She was giving Fang a bath. He was sitting in the bathtub, all soapy and foamy and fangy. I'm getting Fang ready for the contest, Annie said. Everyone knows he is pretty. Now they will find out he is smart. I, Nate the Great, already knew more about Fang than I wanted to know. Annie started to scrub Fang's tail. Stop, I yelled. Fang may be wearing a clue. Fang isn't wearing anything, Annie said. I, Nate the Great, got close to Fang. I did not want to do that, but I had to see his tail. I was glad the clue was on that end of him. I leaned over. I saw what I had hoped I would see. Gold paint on Fang's tail. It was on the right side. Happy bath, I said to Fang. Sludge and I rushed back to Rosamond's house. I, Nate the Great, say the tuna fish can was not outside. How do you know that? Rosamond asked. Because Fang was standing with his right side next to the window, I said. His tail was going back and forth. He got gold paint on the right side of his tail. That means his tail hit the can going outward, right out the window. Sludge and I are going to look very hard outside your house again. The contest is supposed to start in 15 minutes, Rosamond said. Then we will look very hard and very fast, I said. Sludge and I rushed outside. We looked around again. We walked up and down the sidewalk again. It was a boring sidewalk. Cracks, but no clues. I, Nate the Great, was stumped. This was definitely a tough, fishy case. I was not going to solve it on time. I was not going to solve it at all. Sludge and I walked home. We went into the kitchen. Sludge sniffed the grocery bag. Why was he sniffing the grocery bag? It only had dog shampoo and things for making pancakes, and Sludge does not like dog shampoo or pancakes. But I could not think about the bag. I had to think about the case. I thought about the can being knocked to the outside. I thought about it happening while everything was noisy and wild. I thought about fishy smells and things disappearing inside Anastasia's stomach and gold paint. I thought about Fang's tail. Fang had taken home some gold paint on his tail. He did not know he had taken it home. Annie did not know he had taken it home. Perhaps someone had taken the tuna fish can home, but did not know it. But how? Tuna fish cans do not stick to tails. You can see a tuna fish can unless you can't see it. Unless it is hidden from sight. Unless it disappears into something as big and bulgy as Anastasia's stomach. Suddenly I, Nate the Great, knew I had solved the case. But I knew Sludge had solved it sooner. He was still sniffing my grocery bag. I looked inside the bag, then I put my hand inside the bag, and I pulled out an empty tuna fish can with "Smartest" painted on it in gold smudged letters. I, Nate the Great, had taken the can, and I knew how it had happened. Fang knocked the can out the window just as I was riding past Rosamond's house. The can fell into the open grocery bag that was in the basket on the back of my bicycle, and I had taken the can home without knowing it. And now I must take the can to the contest. Sludge and I rushed to the park where everyone was waiting for the contest to start. Rosamond was there with her 4 cats. Annie was there with Fang. Pip was there with his parrot. Finley was there with his rat. Oliver was there with his favorite eel. Esmeralda was there with herself. Claude and Anastasia were not there. I was not surprised. Either Claude had lost Anastasia or Anastasia had lost Claude. I held up the prize. I said, "This was in my grocery bag. It is a long story and time is short." I handed the prize to Esmeralda, the judge. Rosamond clapped her hands. "Oh, goody green grasshoppers," she said. "Now we can have the contest." Yes, I, Nate the Great, solved the case, I said, but Sludge solved it first. Esmeralda said, that was a very smart thing for Sludge to do, but every pet will have a chance to do something smart. Let's begin. I, Nate the Great, had to watch and listen while Oliver's eel swam backward. Fang did something stupid with his fangs. Rosamond's cats shed hair on command. Finley's rat found some hidden cheese, and Pip's parrot forgot her entire speech. Then Esmeralda said, the winner is Sludge, the only pet who can solve a mystery. Sludge looked proud. I, Nate the Great, looked proud. Everyone congratulated Sludge, and Esmeralda handed the prize to him. Sludge sniffed it, but he did not know what to do with it. He was now the owner of a very strange tuna fish can with smudged gold letters. Sludge and I went home with the prize. I gave him a huge bone. Sludge thought it was the best prize of all. The case was over, but I had something left to do. I unpacked the grocery bag, threw away the dog shampoo, and made some pancakes because I, Nate the Great, deserved a prize too. The end.